Hi, my name's Steve and welcome to the Seaside Allotment channel. This is one of the most exciting days of the year for me today. I'm finally clearing the polytunnel of all its winter veg, all this kale, harvested that yesterday, lettuces, harvested those, and all down here these cauliflowers, took those out yesterday as well. So I've just got a little bit of calabrese in here which I might leave some of these plants, yeah, it's such a good day because it's all such a mess at the moment and we're getting a bit of cabbage aphid in here and things like that, so it's time to get it all out and get a lot of this stuff that's on the grow bench planted today in here, and a lot of it's going to go out into some of the other beds later on in the week. So this will be cleared and provide a lot more light down to the peppers that are going to be under here. So you can join me on this journey if you want, and I'll show you what I do, how I prepare the soil, how I mulch it, how I water it and all that sort of thing. Yeah, it's really good. Really looking forward to it. So the first job is to get these brassicas out. They've served me well. So that's a heck of a lot of chopping done. And I always generally go for a couple of inches, chopped into a couple of inch pieces. And if I can't chop it with shears, then it goes in the green bin at home. So that's already looking better. Around the edge of the beds, when I plant in October, I just take all the really small cloves of garlic that are way too small to grow for, you know, mature garlic, and I pop them around the edge in the polytunnel out of the way, just to get us a nice little crop here of green garlic, which will see us through until the main crop. We're running a bit low on garlic now, so it's nice to just have this bit here. So next up's this old lettuce bed. As I said, we harvested most of it yesterday, all the best of it. Let's get that out. That's everything chopped up, and I don't have any browns at the moment to mix in with all these greens, so I'm just using this old rough compost here, which is still 3 or 4 months away from being usable. So yeah, I just mix it in with that, seems to work fine. So there we go. Now I've got to do some cleaning up. You know me, I always like to clean up. Right, so the next thing to do is take out this little shelf. I had a little bit of a problem with this shelf, that these worked their way loose over the year and the whole shelf collapsed, and it was full of seedling trays and they all fell down the back there, and lots of plants kind of got squashed. So I've doubled up now on the fasteners, so everything's got 2. And you can see these hooks are not looking that healthy, so I've got new hooks in that box. So I'm going to rejuvenate this little shelf a little bit and get it out of the way. So I'm happy with that, with its new little fastenings. 2 screws rather than 1 screw. So there we go, that's stored away nicely. So one of the downsides of growing over winter is you always get a few pests. So generally there's a few green fly, maybe a few white fly, and this year there was a few little sprigs, flower sprouts on the kales that had cabbage aphid. So in order to kind of make sure I don't get too much carryover of those pests into the summer crops, what I do is I just spray the soil after I've taken everything out with pyrethium. And so that hopefully, we won't get them all, but that'll knock down like 95% of them or something like that. And then I kind of just discourage them from that point onwards with the garlic spray. I don't know whether I've got it, I'll show you it later. That's pretty much all the pest control that I normally have to do in this polytunnel. We do have the doors open at both ends pretty much all the time during late spring and summer and early autumn. And so there's lots of insects coming in here to prey on the pests. So I'm just having a rest now for a few minutes because I've hurt my back and I've hurt my knee, so I can't do too much at any point in time. And so I thought I'd just take the opportunity to talk about the allotment's finances, and particularly how overwintering veg sort of contributes to that. So I think we take, well, let me just talk about a general philosophy of money. Basically, the allotments can't cost us any money. Ideally, they'll save us lots of money. We're not really in it for the money, but we don't have enough money to spend money on the allotments. And so the way that we financed the work originally was I was going on holiday in spring, and I cancelled that holiday, and instead of that I did work on the allotments, and that was like the best holiday I'd ever had. I absolutely loved it. Spent 3 weeks, spent quite a bit of money. I think I probably spent, let's say, probably £600 in total in the first year on the allotment, and that was probably more like 2 holidays. But the thing is, that paid back so quickly. Certainly within the first 6 months we'd easily paid back on food bill savings that £600 investment. And basically we just carried on like that. So every investment has to pay back. When we invested in this polytunnel, it actually paid back from harvests off the allotments. We put it in March, and it had paid back from harvests by June. Not harvests from the polytunnel itself, but harvests from the plot in total. So overwintering, so I just worked out that we'd taken £380 worth of veg out of the polytunnel so far, but of course we've also got a lot of stuff like the cucumbers, the courgettes, the beans and things like that that'll, that are in the polytunnel now, that'll give us further savings going forward. And of course we've started a huge amount of veg, and we've still got veg in here. So when you count all that lot together, I think it's about £500 of value that we extract from the polytunnel by growing over winter. Now, the polytunnel cost £1,000, so in 2 years the winter veg kind of bonus, a lot of people don't grow over winter, but the winter veg bonus that we get would have paid off the polytunnel. Now there's so many different ways that we paid the polytunnel off, but it just shows you that used intensively, a polytunnel is a fantastic investment and easily can save you more money than it costs within a year, easily within a year. Because obviously that doesn't count all the summer crops, and that's a massive amount of value that we extract over summer as well. So anyway, I've had a rest now, so I can get back to work. Right, so let's have a look at this soil, and I've just hit moisture, so it's very dry. So I'm about 3 inches down before I hit any moisture. So I'm going to put 2 inches of water on here before I mulch it, and that should fully hydrate this ground, and hopefully then I won't really have to water anything other than the individual plants. But I want to get the bed a nice level of hydration everywhere before I do that. And that just happens because when you're over winter, really you're not looking to keep putting loads and loads of water in. You want to get the plants nicely established in October and November, water them then, but really all the way through December, January, February you're not really watering at all, and there's a little bit of watering in March and April. So things do dry out a little bit. You just don't want that much water being put into the ground when it's not really nice and sunny and really well ventilated. So I'm going to get watering. So this bed is 3 square meters, and so I've got to work out how many watering cans it is. Probably about 12 watering cans. So that's hydrated now. I've just checked it. In the end I had to put 240 litres of water down, so that's 24 watering cans in total, and that's 40 millimetres of water, and it's nicely hydrated now. It's not too soggy, it's kind of soaking down nicely. It's about right. The celery is really going to like it. I've got some more celery to plant here. Last year we actually had celery all the way to the back, but then we realised, of course, that we could actually just use a little square clump there, and then actually get another tomato or cucumber plant in there. So it's interesting though to compare these celery plants, which are the exact same batch as those, that just didn't get planted because I had the kales in here, and there's quite a big difference between them. So it'll be interesting to see whether they actually manage to catch up and thrive. They are a bit root bound in here. There's a few kind of not so healthy leaves. Let's get rid of those, I think. But they like it nice and moist, obviously, and so these are fairly well watered beds, having the peppers and the tomatoes and cucumbers in them, so it's kind of perfect to interplant with celery. And this is actually all the celery we need. We just use it as a cut and come again crop, and we've got one patch here and we've got another patch down the other end, so yeah, gonna get that's our basic layout. I like to use these halos. I like to leave these on. I know some people cut them off because they say they fill up, they block up and the water doesn't drain out, but I find that's just fine because I don't want the water to flood out. I want it to seep through nice and slowly, and I only need that much water, so I only need to fill this up with water maybe twice, maybe 3 times a week, and that's about all I need really. So there's no point you know, cutting those off so I can get more water through. I don't need it, and that's kind of what I want to do with the tomato. So it's quite deep down in the hole, and you know, I just want a little bit of stalk, and I want it just showing just above the top of here once it's planted, and I'll rock it away. So that's the tomatoes in, and we've got indigo pear drop, sweet million, red cherry, black cherry, fem spot cucumber, sweet million, gardener's delight, cordibou, and there will be cucumbers here, and there's another fem spot cucumber down there in that corner. And the keen-eyed amongst you will probably think, well, couldn't I put another row of tomatoes in there? Obviously I'm putting peppers down there. This is the density I like. I just can't, once these plants are big and growing full, I can't imagine you can squeeze anything more in really. It's just a jungle in here. So this is the size. I don't really like them any bigger than that, just peeking out from above those halos. And you'll also notice I don't use these halos as instructed. I don't fill this up with compost. I don't water that part. It dries out so quickly as well. So I like them to have the roots in the ground. I don't want them to have roots in here. The plants are planted plenty deep enough. I'm just using this as a shield to stop water getting on the stem, and I'm using this to make sure that the water goes deep down underneath the mulch. I haven't put the mulch on yet, so you'll see that in a second. And also it just helps me to determine how much water I've given them. So when I'm starting off, I'm giving them just maybe an inch of this a day or every couple of days, and then eventually, you know, when they're in full swing, I'll fill this whole rim once every 2 or 3 days. Also notice I haven't buried any strings. I don't bother with that. I find it's far too much for faff. There's no need. All I do is I just put the string up, tie it up. Well, I'll do it anyway and show you. So basically, once I just tied the string onto the frame of the polytunnel, and when the plant's big enough, I'll just use one of these little clips, just clip it, and it doesn't have to be tight, and just provide a little bit of support, and then there'll just be clips just hanging, and the plant just hangs basically off the string, so it's fine. There's no need to have the string taut or planted underneath there or anything like that. It works just fine. So let's just finish off on the tomatoes. We're also going to have tomatoes in containers. One there, one here, one there, one in that corner. 4. Those are obviously extra tomatoes, but they're also so that we've got tomatoes in October when we clear these beds. So hopefully from October through to November, we'll still be harvesting a decent crop of tomatoes from here. And we'll have tomatoes outside at home, some cordons, not very many, and lots of tumbling tomatoes, tumbling Tom red, tumbling Tom yellow, and tumbler. So I think I'm done with tomatoes now. I'm going to get the peppers in. Right, so that's the peppers in now, and I've mulched everything, and I put a good 2 inches of spent mushroom compost down as the mulch. And you know, that's the beauty of these things, these halos now, because these halos are 2 inches below the mulch. So, you know, when you're watering here, the little spikes on the bottom of the halos go down about 2 inches, and then you've got 2 inches of mulch. So you're watering 4 inches down below the mulch layer. Now this mulch spent mushroom compost is very strawy. I mentioned it yesterday when I was doing the peppers. It really is kind of light and fluffy. And the idea is that you let the surface layer dry on this, and then there's no wicking effect basically of water coming out of the soil and evaporating away, because if the surface layer is dry, there's no wick. So anyway, this bed is pretty much done. I need to put the strings in, but they're not needed now for a few weeks. And put the canes in for the peppers. I don't pinch the tops out on the peppers. They're not leggy or anything, they're fine. And I haven't seen any evidence that pinching out actually results in more peppers. So until I see that evidence, I'm doing it this way. Anyway, tomorrow I'm doing that bed. But for today, I think I'm done. So I hope you like this video. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Allotment channel, and I'll see you tomorrow.